Now, there's a couple in Virginia by the name of Brian and Shannon Gore. Now, they've recently pleaded guilty to felony child abuse for keeping their child, then 6 years old, in a makeshift cage inside their Gloucester mobile home. Now, the couple was originally arrested in 2011 when police backtracked some stolen goods, stuff like gold bullion, a vacuum cleaner, a passport, $2,000 in cash, and other items. And police actually traced this bullion back to an auction house that they said they had bought the gold from Shannon Gore. So the auction house said, we bought this gold from Shannon Gore. So they backtracked it to her house. Now, the little girl was actually found inside of a cage made from an overturned crib when police actually investigated the house looking for this stolen stuff. So that's when they found this girl, this caged girl. Now, according to the Daily Press, the girl was naked, covered in excrement, and didn't even have enough room to fully extend her legs. And according to a report from ABC News, she weighed only 16 pounds at age 6. And she was so hungry, she was so to the point of starving, to where she was eating her own skin. Look, man, what a sick story. Who the hell would do this to their own child? What kind of parent would do this to their own kid? And this is why it's such a disturbing story. I could not believe it when I read this. And it's a wonder how this child even lived that long in these circumstances. I couldn't imagine being caged like that for 6 years. 6 years. Now, according to her father, she was born at home, so she didn't even exist according to the system, okay? She was not registered anywhere as being a person. No neighbors had ever saw her. No one knew of her existence but them. She had no birth certificate, no social security number, nothing. No identification or any sort of records. And according to her father, I use the term loosely in this case. She supposedly had Down syndrome and cerebral palsy, which is even worse. Now, of course, without a doctor, without even seeing a doctor, no one actually could confirm those claims, but it's not like it even matters, really. It doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. But this wasn't the only child in this house of horrors. A 1-month-old was also recovered by authorities at the time of this, as well as the remains of another child that was buried near the home. Now, Brian Gore, the supposed father, the quote-unquote father in this case, told investigators that the child died in infancy of breathing problems. But, of course, they didn't call 911. No, because they would find out, the police, the authorities would find out that these people are literally monsters and that we're holding their child, their little girl, inside of a fucking cage. So no, they didn't call the authorities, and the child died. Now let me be clear. No animal deserves to be caged like that. That is horrible. That is what we see in those factory farming videos. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, but this girl was packed in a cage just like that. And look, in order to hide this, they let another child die. They let another of their kids die so they could torture this girl, who did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing. Now, back in 2011, when this story first broke, some different news agencies interviewed the neighbors. Well, the neighbors actually described these people as nice. Oh, they're nice people. I never would have imagined. Brian Gore's ex-girlfriend even said, boy, he was a really nice guy. He went to church and everything. Now stop for a second and think about that. As if going to church makes you a nice person. As if that means a damn. Just the assumption, well, he went to church. He must be a nice person. When he's literally a monster, caging a child at home, letting another child die. Does that seem like a nice Christian to you? No, of course not. And look, this whole story kind of reminds me of Ariel Castro. You remember Ariel Castro, right? Seemingly normal person. In this case, a seemingly normal couple that hid a very, very deep, dark, horrible secret. Human suffering behind closed doors. And this story shows you that the people you least expect to be monsters sometimes are. And look, I hope these people never get out of prison. It's sick people like this that belong in the cage. Even so, they're still going to get off easier than their daughter did for 6 years. She was robbed of 6 years of her life. She will never live a normal life. Her youth 6 years have been robbed from her. Living in that kind of existence. She will never be normal again. But hey, hopefully now that they're going to be sentenced, and I hope it's harsh, she can actually begin a new chapter in her life, away from these sickos, and be taken care of. As for the parents, for one, like I said, they did not deserve to be parents. Obviously. That goes without saying. And two, look, I'm a lib, I'm a progressive, and I may be a really bad lib for saying this, but it's cases like this that make me more than okay with the death penalty. I'm okay with it in this case. Push the button. They deserve it. And finally, look, child abusers, they don't fare well in prison anyway. So if something happens to them, something happens to them in prison, I'm not shedding a tear. Not at all. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share with your friends. If you want to see more, go to our channel at youtube.com/TYTNation. And if you really want to support the show, support this channel, go to our fundraising campaign at www.patreon.com/TYTNation. The website is in the description below. Thank you guys, and keep watching.